All right, all right. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so before I jump into this, hopefully the final part four, let me just briefly mention this. I, Today, I did something I've never done before on my channel, so I didn't know how everything was going to go. But I went live on both of my channels today, and I did the exact same routine on both channels where I wanted to really make sure that anyone who was in that live session with me had access to potentially winning a free storytelling from me. And when I say free, I really did mean free. But I also knew that every time I've ever done this in the past, someone would want to gift a donation. And it's so generous and so kind. And of course it's lovely and it's heartwarming. And I thank everyone for it. But then I want to make sure that I get a chance to reciprocate. But what would happen in the past is if I did that, then I would have many people that would be donating, and then anyone that didn't have the money to donate would somehow kind of get left behind a little bit. And so I thought, how can I do this and make sure that I kind of make it so that it's really fair for everybody? So I said, well, I'm live. I'm literally only going to choose people that are not making a donation. But if you do make a donation, then I will separately come back and I will do a video where I do a reading for every single person who's gifted me a donation, because that's the way I wanted to thank you in return. I don't sell my readings or anything like that in my stories. Instead, if somebody wants to donate, that's beautiful, but it isn't expected. It's just a beautiful, gratitude on my behalf for it. So I did that, and I had a flood of generosity today. And so, because I went live for an hour on each channel and exclusively did completely free, no donations, but then I had many people. I had like 70 some odd donations today. But I still try to keep everything straight so that if someone donated when I was live on my main channel, Kate's Regretless Life, when I did that video of all of those winners or all of those people who donated, I did that video. And then anyone after I was live here on this channel who gave a donation, I have been working very hard today to try to get all of those videos posted. But I think there could be confusion. So if you were with me on Kate's Regretless Life and you gave me a donation, that video was posted a long time ago where I did a video for a storytelling for every single one of those winners. It was like 2 hours long. That's been out for many, many, many hours. Then if you gave me a donation on this channel during our 10 o'clock session, I am finally down to the last 7, and I apologize profusely for it taking me so many chunks of the day today. I said it was going to be one card pull, but I never stick to one, so I couldn't get, whatever it was on this channel alone. I think we had 40 people donate, so that's why it's taken me such a long time, because instead of doing like a 1-minute pull, I end up doing 5 or 6 minutes for every person, so it stacks into many hours. And with interruptions in life, I'm sorry that I'm just now finishing up. But I hope that clarifies a couple of things, because I believe we have a little bit of confusion where somebody thinks that they're still waiting for a storytelling, but I actually did it many hours ago on my other channel because that's where they gave me a donation. So if by the end of this, after I do these last, whatever it is, 7 names, if your name wasn't among them, please check Kate's Regretless Life. I know that's confusing because I have 2 channels and a lot of people joined me on both, but I hope that, because I don't think I've missed out on anybody. I was pretty careful with that, but by all means, let me know if you think something's amiss. But now let's get into this, okay? Sorry about the lengthy explanation, but I just now realized I should probably do my best to clear this up. All right, so one more time, I'm going to start out with Sam Wells Tarot. So Sam, this is a gift from Yael Rubin. And so we'll go ahead and get started here. As I always say, I'm a fictional storyteller. I'm not a psychic. I don't have any of that gift. I only am a fictional storyteller. So my stuff is always fun, food for thought. So let's see what we get here. And I apologize that your previous one got interrupted. Coming in at 4 minutes. All right. And I will timestamp these, of course, at the end. We're going to use a totally different deck than what I had started with last time. So Sam, what have we got? We got an Ace of Wands upright. We have a 2 of Cups upright. Oof. And we got a Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Coins upright. Well, we start out with some lovely energy, honestly. Yes, there's big passion. Yes, there's a profound bond. But there is also this incredibly profound desire to take it slow. The universe says anything that is going to be this strong deserves the time to really soak it up, deserves the time to build. Yes, there's a strong desire for something, because it does feel very, I always think of the 2 of Cups as a profoundly meaningful exchange of energy. It's the choice to exchange the energy also, though. So to see this and couple it with the Knight of Coins, to couple it with this slow moving energy. And if you remember, Sam, on at the end of the last video I did, I said, okay, maybe we're going to have a ton of interruptions because my pup was just hooting and hollering at me. He had way too many noises and he had to go out and investigate. And he's my protector, so he's doing his job. So I want him to do his job. But it's interesting because to me, with now the slow moving energy, even though there's big passion, there's a powerful desire to share energy, perhaps that earlier attempt that I made to do a story fits into this one, meaning this has been a situation that's already had disruption, and now we still have slow moving energy. This could be a little bit on the frustrating side, because when we have this much power and emotion and we have to harness it and be patient and control the energy, that can be annoying. And to have interruptions requires a ton of patience, because I know that can be annoying. And I wonder if this is testing our character's patience. And if the message from the cosmos says, I know, but think about how powerful something is if we can take this much energy and then we can find a way to be patient for this union, patient for this, if this is about a lover, a Two of Cups relationship, someone that we're very passionate about, and they're very passionate about us, but we have this achingly slow burning, progress to try to get to the culmination of a union. That would require I'm surprised we don't have temperance here. It would require a huge amount of, I must control my energy. I must control my energy. And it does. It requires self-restraint. That's the word I'm looking for. And we have Seven of Wands. Blockages, but it's all in how we deal with blockages. And you notice we've got the Bunny of Fertility here. I don't know if this is one of those, like, it would make a wonderful epic, trilogy if somebody were writing this book about these characters' experiences, because I feel like they have, like, they're always so close to almost touching, and then their fingertips just glance, and then they're off in different directions again, and they finally come back around and they can almost grasp each other, and then they're back apart again. And although the message says something this powerful has the ability to keep a bond, even if there are things that bog this bond down or bog down the ability for them to come into full union, or anything that has this much power to it and desire will still happen, even if it happens at a later date. And even if there are significant hurdles, there's still, I see so much passion and fertility. Like, this is growing even during times when there is separation. That is what I see in this message. I would argue we could apply this in a non-romantic sense and say, the same way that we are growing every day of our lives, even if we aren't consciously sitting down reading books, we're still gaining life experience. We're still evolving. We're still learning. Even if we tried to shut that down, we're still doing it. All right, I'm going to leave that one there. All right, next up, I've got Tiffany Dixon coming in at 8:48. Tiff, this is courtesy of Yael Rubin. And thank you so much, Tiffany, for always being such an amazing person and being a part of my channel. I am delighted that you are here. I feel like I've known you for so many years now. So thank you. All right. Message from the cosmos. We got the World in the reverse, but we got the Star card upright. Okay. So I always think this is the world saying, I see you. In the reverse. I don't want to say that something isn't coming to pass right now, or that it's not happening this year, but it does say there's not a new beginning. If anything, what I would say is we have a character who is on the right path. There's not really a need for our character to alter course. The Star is achieving healing, achieving goals. It can be a card of distance, but maybe that's where our character needs to be right now, is, There's a song that just popped into my head by Talk, Tawk, and in it he says, "I can name you all the stars. They used to live with me," and it's like a song about his ancestors, and that someday he'll return to his ancestors. But it's a very cosmic song, and I love it, and I love Talk. I never found an actual album to purchase, but his voice is incredible. I'm trying to think of the title of that one. I hope it'll come to me later. It's a great song, but I can't think of his title right now. We have the Magician in the reverse. This is a character who is getting ready to manifest, but they're not there yet. Not because they're not powerful, but because what they're working on is something else more important. If our character is somewhat aloof, somewhat remote right now, it's because what they're doing at the moment is every bit as important. Sometimes we think, oh, we're only at our best when we're manifesting everything, making stuff happen. But who says that healing isn't making something happen, right? It's just that that's the stuff that maybe we are doing internally, so it's not as pizzazzy because we don't see it externally. We know it's going on, but maybe we're not making big waves in the world around us. Because I kind of think of manifesting as like, having things that start to take shape in the 3D world, whereas the healing stuff is more like, I'm not going to say it's 5D, but it's part of the micro world, almost, the stuff we'd have to look at under a microscope. So I kind of think that the reason our character is not quite ready to make some huge wave in their life right now is only because they're doing something every bit as important. If this character has been chiding themselves like, man, why haven't I, like hit 6 figures in my career path yet? Why didn't I, buy the expensive car yet? Why don't I have all this? It says, well, it's coming. It's coming. You're doing something super important right now. Where you're at is magnificent. What you're already doing is magnificent. Not every incredible success is going to be seen externally. I think this is a great example. Not every strong and powerful person has a lot of muscles to show. There's show muscles that people build at the gym, and then there's people that have like incredible, like wiry strength, and they don't have bulging muscles, but they have, stamina. Like think of the long distance runners that are, so thin, but talk about powerful, right? There's different kinds of strength to hone. The fact that we have this 6 of Swords says, again, our character is, I feel like they have to get to a certain place. Now, this could be a place inside themselves, or this could literally be that they are working on changing something inside themselves, healing something, and then from there, they're physically going to also shift, and that's where the manifestation begins. But they kind of have to, let me put it this way. It's almost like taking off one wardrobe and then getting dressed in a different outfit. We don't put our sexy cocktail dress or our tuxedo on over our work clothes, that we just came in from whatever the farm that we work on. No, we always are going to take off the farm clothes, go shower, probably go into our clean bedroom, and then put on our fancy outfits. And we might have left our farmer's boots all muddy and maybe even stripped off our filthy pants right there, in the front, the mud room or coming in the back door, so we didn't stomp it all through our carpets. I feel like our character actually has to take off the old before they put on the new. And for them, that's what they're working on. That's what they're moving toward, but they're physically like making some changes, or they're going to be in a different location before they can start manifesting everything else. So it's a healing process that is all about personal movement. But I think that's the best analogy I can make, is that they are in the process of like stripping off the old muddy clothes. And then as soon as they put on their fancy cocktail dresses or, tuxedos, that's when we'll probably get that magician to end up in the upright. But it would be really hard to, manifest a big fancy life when we're still in our farmer's boots. It's maybe we don't want to get into that stretch limo and go to the party if we're still in our farmer's clothes. It's not that that's not a valuable part of life, but we got to change our outfit first. I think that's the best way that I could describe that one. Actually, I really like the fact that there's so much up ahead for this character too. That to me, that like it gives me the little chills of excitement. So I get so happy for my characters. All right, next up we have got Sybill. Sybill coming in at 1502. All right, so Sybill, here we go. Let's go ahead and yeah, I think I want this one. We've got kind of the almost a color wheel as the wheel of fortune or the wheel of life, but it also looks like a painter's palette. And it's flying through the cosmos, kind of like a little Halley's comet or Halley's comet. And we have a lot of really great meteorite showers coming in. I mean, I guess we do every year, but we've had the Devil's Comet also that popped in, which was pretty rare to be able to see not too long ago. So I don't know, maybe somebody's a sky watcher, maybe they're a painter, or maybe this is just saying there's something beautiful streaking across the sky like a little fireball. We definitely start out with something streaking through into someone's world. And although this is an Eight of Swords, which would normally be about blocked energy, this card is something is shattering the blocked energy. But we thought this was calm and peaceful. And then we have this, it's like somebody threw their baseball while they were playing and accidentally smashed through our glass greenhouse where our chamomile plants were, which, chamomile is all about calm and peace. So somebody's calm and peace is about to be shattered. But on the other hand, maybe this, like a glass greenhouse, can get a little too hot sometimes also. So this could be a blessing in disguise. Sometimes we think, oh, great, my peace is being shattered, when really it's letting some air in. There is a song by Cat Power, I think it's called Lived in Bars. And in it, she says something about we've lived in bars and danced on tables. And somewhere else she says, open the blankets and give her some air. And I don't know, that line is in my head right now, like open the blankets and give us some air. The fact that we've got, and this could be new ideas, fresh thoughts, because we have a super intellectual person coming in here. We've got the Knight of Swords, and we got like a physicist standing here. But the physicist is part biologist, part like meteorologist. This is somebody who kind of has this, I always look at the swords as like our thoughts. The Knight of Swords moves fast. This is somebody who grasps new concepts. And this feels like something new is coming in. Yes, it'll shake stuff up, but on the other hand, it fills someone's mind and inspires them with a flood of new ideas. I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Princess of Swords, which is like the Page of Swords in any other deck, this whole thing says it's a process. Okay, we have all minor arcana, no majors at all. So we have a character moving through a process. And this process is first a little bit of ruckus, right? So it's jarring, but it's also freeing. Then we have a flood of ideas that come in, almost, systems overload. Oh my God, there's so many things I want to do. I've got all this new information. Wow, think of what I could do with this. I'm going to run with it. And then just as quickly, we have somebody that says, wait a minute. No, I need to harness this. I need to take control of these new thoughts and maybe start putting things in order. Maybe, this could be somebody who suddenly gets a flood of ideas that can all be awesome money-making ideas, but we can't exactly maybe overnight start 5 different businesses. There's just not enough hours in a day. So maybe our character is going to need to, this looks like the Mayan calendar to me. So there's something about planning things out, putting them on a calendar, organizing our ideas and our data, putting it into an orderly fashion so that it's almost like there's even going to be certain times of the year that would be better to work with certain information. Again, just because I'm thinking about Mayan calendar, I'm thinking about the connection to the cosmos. I'm thinking about growing seasons. Ancient cultures were very connected to the seasons. They knew when the rains came. They knew when to plant. They knew how to pay attention to those changes. And they did things in accordance with like the nature's rhythm. And I feel like our character needs to operate within nature's rhythm, even though they're going to have a flood of new information. I think it's jazzy and it's exciting, and it's just what our character maybe needs, is something to shake up their peace and calm, because our character is really intelligent. And I think they were lulled for a bit and kind of stagnant without meaning to be. And now they're about to get all excited. But it says, okay, but in the excitement, use this new inspiration really wisely. Make sure you take advantage of all these new great ideas, but do it in a way that you roll it out so that you can make the greatest, like the greatest, say this is a business idea. Well, maybe we don't need to sell adorable, mittens to keep our hands warm in the thick of summer. So maybe making those beautiful mittens can wait until, October. In the meantime, let's go with one of those other cool business ideas. I'm just saying that as an example. Like, why would we wait on certain ideas? Because it'll create more revenue if we roll it out at the right time. And then we end the message with, there's a lot of research to do. I think this is a cautionary tale that says it is so awesome to suddenly feel like we're out of a rut. Maybe this person had writer's block and they don't anymore, but now they want to write five, different topics all at once. And maybe it says, but wait a minute, work on one project at a time. Research each project appropriately to know, why would I do it in a different order? Why would I choose to do this project before that? But there's a lot of either market research that could be done, or there's a lot of ideas that are going to be, it's about information. It's about gathering intel so that we use our amazing mind and our abilities and our ideas to our greatest advantage. And that's also maybe the remedy for not getting bored again, not getting in a rut again. When we find different things that spark our interest, learn about those things, because that in turn could actually unveil 5 or 6 other additional avenues. And now we've just multiplied these ideas from 5 to 25, It just kind of seems like, I don't know if my math was right there, by the way. But it just seems like our character is really being encouraged to do things one step at a time. But it's so exciting, they're going to want to just like jump in with both feet. But this says, no, this is a whole journey for this character, and it's going to be a lot more exciting if they do take their time and pace themselves a little bit. So lots of good exciting energy up ahead. All right, next up, Shirley. Shirley's coming in at 2216. All right, so Shirley, my dear, I actually do want to use this. Do I? Yes, this feels good. Sometimes when I just reach without looking, I'm like, I don't know. But no, this is the deck I want. All right, Shirley, we have got the star, and it is sideways. So don't ask me why. Instead of Aquarius, I was about to say Algerian. Algerian energy, Aquarius energy, but maybe Algeria is somehow specific as well for this message. We have got, I love this card. I love the artwork on these. It's so dreamscape. And so we have this feminine, and she's standing there, and she's got a sailing ship on her head. So her mind is always free. She's always in charge of her own thoughts. She is somebody who, even in a hurricane, she's designed to withstand a hurricane. You notice how her entire lower half has little vents in it. So she doesn't break, she bends in the wind. That is a real skill set for a character to have. Now, granted, this is normally about reaching for our goals, and this is normally about healing. This can be about distance, but this card is sideways. She is so flexible that she is able to say, I have more than one plan. I have more than one goal. I have more than one way to get to my goals as well. So she has this capability, I think, to look at life and then say, I could do this or I could do that. I'm flexible. We couple it with a 10 of swords. This is somebody who can let go of certain goals if they deem it to be either fruitless, or if they would deem it to be something that maybe they know that they grow out of goals. I feel like this is a person who is embracing the fact that, okay, let me put it this way. When I was young, really young, like 7, I wanted to be what I called a sharketist because I didn't know the name for oceanographer. And I thought sea life was the most amazing thing, and I wanted to be under the sea with the sharks. And then as I grew up, I learned I cannot hardly swim. And B, I learned my ears have huge problems, and so do my lungs, and I'm not submerging at any point in my life. And I also learned I'm pretty scared of the sharks. And so my goals in life changed. Does that mean I failed? I didn't reach my goal? No, it means I changed. It's no longer a goal of mine at all. I love the sea, but I no longer want to go deep diving in it. So, did I fail to match my goal? No, my goals failed me because I don't even want them anymore. And I think that's the best way I could describe this, to say we have a character who is so flexible because they know some of my dreams and goals are going to change, and I don't ever have to think that I missed out. Instead, I altered something. Okay, so we we could have a wonderful, interesting gentleman. Doesn't have to be, but they do show up as a king. Sometimes we change our plans because we meet somebody fabulous, somebody who makes our plans different, because we go, no, I'd rather be with them. I'd rather have that. I, nobody told me that was an option. I didn't know I was going to meet this person. This is that lovely message from the cosmos that says, if our character isn't already this flexible, maybe they should consider being that flexible, and consider that it's okay to completely throw away what we thought was going to be a plan if we meet something better. You know, if I thought that I was going to, no matter what, I was going to fly into outer space and, become an astronaut and, go to Mars. But then I met, someone that became such a close family member to me that I couldn't bear to leave them. All of a sudden, I don't care about colonizing Mars anymore, because I want to colonize this planet right here with the person that I pick as my person. And I kind of think that's the best way I could describe that, is just that it's all right for a character to change their mind when they meet something that is even better than what their original plan was. I like the flexibility for this character to be able to do something different and not somehow chide themselves and say, well, am I giving up my hopes and dreams? No, you're replacing it with a better one. At least that's what I think the message is, to consider it that way, or maybe ask oneself that question. Am I giving up on my dream, or am I replacing it with a better dream? And maybe that's going to help our character to come to their conclusions about what they want to do. All right, Shirley, thank you again for being here. Nat Nats, you're coming in at 2740. All right, here we go. Nat Nats, what is the message? Thank you as always, sweetheart, for being your amazing self. We have the Nurturer of Coins. Nurturer of Coins would normally be the Queen of Pentacles, but instead we have a masculine on this card. By the way, Aries is here. If you see me petting a furry, that's what it is happening over here, as he's popped in for Nat Nats. I just make a mention of this being a masculine on the Queen's card because this could represent the very harmonious balance that somebody has in both their masculine and feminine energy. So they're feeling very, very grounded. So the message here first is to maybe like fully connect with one's masculine and feminine strengths, the things that make someone, powerful. We've got a 2 of Swords and we got the 9 of Pentacles. I kind of feel like this is a message where now we have our character almost feeling like, but I can't need anybody else. I'm supposed to be completely, autonomous, self-sufficient. I supply everything. I'm not supposed to have that, either the need or the even maybe appreciation for the 2 halves, because I'm supposed to have it all figured out. And this actually says, I don't know about that. I think that with the 9 of Pentacles here, we have a really powerful individual for sure, but they're still blocking something. They're still feeling like somehow they're not enough. I don't understand what this is. The 7 of Cups, the nurturer of wands. It's, you know what I think I would boil this down to? This looks to me like a character is changing their identity a little bit. They are realizing that they've outgrown an old persona. They've gone through at least, I'm going to say this is coming into their third like persona of life. Experiences change us, right? Who we meet, how we're treated, how we learn to protect ourselves, how we learn to, like, sometimes we don't know how we are when we're hurt until we get hurt. And then we go, wow, that's me hurt. Okay, I didn't know that's how I would react. She has become this phoenix rising from the ashes. She's reclaiming her identity after already having been a remarkable person in her own right a multitude of times. She's yet again reclaiming another version of herself or developing a new version of herself. This is somebody, I think they do more than change hairstyles. I think that they, life experiences, maybe this person had to be like both mother and father to a child that they were raising. Then it was like, okay, my child is like more autonomous at this point. So now I get to think about me as a single person. Maybe I had a lot of responsibilities when I was young. So now I feel like I'm reclaiming my youth. I'm being more, like my own fun loving, single, full of vitality kind of self. And then after some of that, like personal pursuit, now I'm reshaping myself one more time and I'm realizing I'm both. I am vivacious, I'm fun loving, I'm single, I'm footloose and fancy free, but I'm also like a dedicated queen, a mama, someone who's lived a life and someone who's had to reinvent myself. It feels like, if I were to summarize this, I would say the message from the cosmos is we are many things in our life. We have to play many different roles. We find ourselves in vastly different phases of life, vastly different environments. I mean, right now I'm thinking about somebody who would be like, say they, in school, they're very studious. They run track and, they're valedictorian. Then as an adult, a young adult, they go into the military and they're, in combat. And then they come back and they're in civilian life. And then from there, they decide, you know what, I think I'm going to become an actor or an actress. I mean, think of the vastly different experiences and almost personas that this character would have to put on. They'd have to be a warrior sometimes. They were somebody's child at one point. They were the studious, student. They were, the creative actor or actress who's got paparazzi after them. It just says with all the different things one human can do in our very lengthy lifespan, of course we would expect to change how we see ourselves. And so it is kind of like an identity shift a multitude of times, but all we're doing is adding more to our personal story. We're just getting richer. Like our personal history, our personal story is just improving and increasing as we add more layers to us. That's I think the way I would look at that, because it looked like at first I was confused, but I think that summarizes it pretty beautifully. It's definitely a message that I like because I would kind of agree with that. All right, I'm going to leave that one there. Thanks again for being here, Nat Nats. All right, and now Nancy Angelastro. This was a gift from Jaime Clark, but I'm actually going to do one for Jaime as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and do Jaime's first because Jaime is number 38 and then Nancy is going to be number 39. Okay, so Jaime, and I kind of lost track, to be honest, Jaime. I know I did one for you earlier, but if this is an extra, awesome. Just, I hope you don't mind getting an extra, okay? We have a 3 of Swords and we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so we're talking about some message from the universe. It's about a divine masculine that is really kind of like working through a painful process. They've got a broken heart, but they are working so hard to try to move beyond it. This may just be like the little side note that, hey, maybe this character is, oh gosh, I didn't jot down your time, Jaime. I'm sorry. I'm going to say 33 minutes. Forgive me. I'm so sorry. That was sloppy. The fact that we have an 8 of Wands, I think that the universe is kind of conveying the message that, perhaps the way It could be a divine masculine, displays wounded energy, may not present in a familiar way. And so just being aware or being mindful that somebody might be a little slow to respond or a little slow to move forward because, in fact, it's like, if we're sore and we're still achy and we get up out of a chair and we go, oh, I got to move a little slow before, my blood pumps again and I'm, loose enough to move and walk like a normal person again. This Eight of Wands says there's a lot of desire to move forward faster. But maybe it's more like the only thing that can move forward faster would be communication and not necessarily a lot of action. Yeah, with the 10 of Wands in the reverse, but we have a 2 of Cups upright. And then we have the 7 of Wands. All of this is just, I'll say, relaying a message that no matter how much somebody feels a beautiful emotion for another person, I always use the analogy of, no matter how badly our best friend wants to go run a marathon with us and we've been training for it together and it was awesome and we were going to be the best team of, runners ever, if they break their leg, that's it. They're out of the race for a while and they're going to have to just lay down and wait till that leg heals. And then they're probably going to have to still go through some, rehab until they, fully gain the musculature back. And so all we can do is maybe talk to them about, it's going to be great when we're able to run together again, or give them an update about, yeah, I'm still running and, miss you. That might be as much as we can do with that person when they can't get out, and hit the tarmac with us yet. And although it is painful because we know we're kind of waiting for somebody to be all healed up, it says, but they will get healed up. There will be someone who gets to the top of their obstacle, the top of their mountain. And this kind of energetic support is a really beautiful thing. All right, Jamie, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to pet my dog, and then we're going to go to Nancy's. Hi, my love. Can you give me just 1 or 2 more minutes? Do you think? You've been careful, hon. So my puppy, I think he's the most adorable interruption I've ever seen. But he has been extremely needy today, of course, because it was a day where I really, really wanted to get these out to everybody as soon as possible. But that's the time when he seems to coincide with needing me the most. And so forgive me for all these delays. I appreciate everybody knowing he hasn't got thumbs, so I have to do many things for my baby. And he does interrupt a lot. So I think we should go, Nancy, with an animal deck because my little animal just popped in. 3755. All right, Nancy, thank you for all of your patience. You are last but certainly not least. And hopefully you're a dog lover, so hopefully at least you got to see Aries. 9 of Cups in the reverse says somebody's not very happy with something at the moment. The message from the universe says, oh, well, it's because we're in a transformation phase. Things are probably not going to stay unpleasant for very long, but they may be just for maybe a hot minute longer. Okay, because this looks like when something's not going smoothly and we're not having satisfaction, it might be because let's think about moving. It sucks to move. It's great to move into a new place, especially if it's a place we'd rather be. But the act of packing up all of our stuff, putting it into the U-Haul, taking it to a new place, putting it into a new place, it's a nightmare. I think everybody can agree with that. So there's no fun in that, but there is a lot of fun to being in the new place. And because the Death card is here, Scorpio energy, it says our character's going to get all cozied and comfied in pretty soon because we've got a nice 6 of Wands. Our character's going to feel heroic pretty soon. But this moment of discomfort, it makes sense that it would be uncomfortable because we're in a transformation. But I think our character's going to end up loving it. Shh, my love, wait. We have the Knight of Cups, which is a joyful motion forward. It's moving forward with, satisfaction. It's going toward things because now we want to, we're ready to. We've got our sights set, we smelled it out, we know where we're headed, and it's someplace really, really good. So I don't know. I know it's a difficult message and it's fairly interrupted right now, but I would say the message from the universe in a nutshell is it's only bumpy right now because we got to get adjusted to the new. But the new is going to be really good. All right, I'm going to leave this here. E.T., thank you so much, sweetheart. You know, you gifted me something earlier today on my other channel, and I did do a video for you already over there. It was on Kate's Regretless Life, not on this one. So if you are seeking that, it was done many, many hours ago for you. It's been up for a lot of hours, and I know not everybody knew that, but I have to go because I must take care of my baby. But I thank you profusely. Take care, you guys. I'll see you again shortly. Bye for now.